Hi everyone, welcome to Krannert Art Museum Yoga. I'm Jodi, happy to be here all by myself. The museum is closed and they let me in, so I feel very VIP today. Grateful to be here in front of this great collage, great art everywhere. So hopefully when things open back up, you can come out and see all the beautiful artwork at Krannert Art Museum. In the meantime, I'm going to try and mix it up every week and be in front of a new piece. Although next week is our last week until we start back up in the new year in January. So hope you've been enjoying this as much as I have. Today we're going to go real easy in terms of props. You'll just need a strap or like I have a scarf. And we're just going to start seated. So just a comfortable cross-legged seated position. Grounding down through sit bones. You move the flesh out of the way of the sit bones, really rooting into the earth. Feeling that support, so important. Finding a tall spine, rolling through shoulders up, back, and down a few times. Just checking in, just beginning the practice. So you welcome yourself to your practice. Breathing in through the nose, drawing shoulders up to ears, back and down, out through the mouth. A couple more times like that. Inhaling, breathing. Exhaling, releasing. One more time. Getting an energetic release through the breath. And then relaxing the hands onto the thighs or the knees. The palms can be up or down, depending on how that makes you feel. Relax through the arms. Relax through the shoulders. And just tall spine. An energetic lift of the spine all the way through the crown of the head. Just as if there's a string aligning you to the sky. So you close your eyes. Just breathe for a moment. Despite anything that might have come before this, you're here now. So allow yourself to be here. It might be the hardest part of the practice to keep the mind present. I'll do my best to remind you. Breathing into the fullness of your lungs. Breathing in gratitude. Exhaling, releasing anything that feels heavy like a burden. Breathing in wisdom. Wisdom of the breath, of the body. And breathing out any obstacles in your way to tap into that wisdom. Breathing in joy. And breathing out any negativity, any doubt. Now you will receive these gifts. You just continue this work. Continue to do the work. Even when it feels hard. Just think about one foot in front of the other. This breath. This moment. And then the next breath, carrying you through any hardships, any challenging moments. You'll be forming an intention for this practice, pressing palms together when you have something in mind. This mudra, this Anjali mudra, this seal of offering. So just offer yourself something for this practice, a guide, a reminder of what you need. And just relax with the hands back to thighs or knees, bow the head, breathing into the back of the neck. And you can start to gently sway the head from side to side, just opening your neck, releasing any tension. Soften the jaw, soften the lips. One more time, swaying the head gently from side to side. We'll definitely revisit the neck and shoulders, an area of tension for a lot of people, but as you bow forward, start to round the spine, tuck the tailbone, slightly rock back. You can kind of hang onto the knees, separate the shoulder blades, draw the low belly in and up, finishing another exhalation. And as you inhale, take your time to reach the heart forward. Draw the shoulder blades closer together, lift the gaze, lifting the chin. And then the next exhalation begins at rocking back, hanging onto the knees, Tuck the tailbone, bow the head. And then the inhalation draws you forward with an open heart. A couple more times, just like that, flowing with your breath, taking your time. After your next exhalation, we'll just return to a nice long neutral spine. You can start to stir the pots, circling into the spine. Think about inner core strengthening, controls this movement. Let it be smooth, even if the body feels a little hard, a little resistant to the movement. So soften the outer body. And then begin to circle in the opposite direction. Relax through the shoulder. Just kind of let the whole body, as the upper torso, get involved. A little free-flowing movement. Think about sit bones rooting, grounding. Bowing forward, fingertips or palms to the earth. From here, the head bows heavy once again as you breathe into the back of the neck. We breathe into the area between the shoulder blades as the shoulders just relax forward. Breathe into the rib cage. Breathe into the entire back body. Creating space as you inhale into the low back, an area you can have a lot of tension for most people. And stay bowed forward. Maybe sway the head from side to side a little. Just beginning to offer yourself what you need, any variations, any modifications. You can sway the torso a little. Opening more into your sides. Strong side waist muscles. Strong back body muscles that support the spine. As you come forward, staying forward, one more deep breath. And then growing the spine tall, take your time. That lifting that comes from the low core. You can roll through the shoulders up, back, and down, and then just extend the legs out. Plant the palms alongside the hips, arch the spine, and lift and lengthen. Squeeze the shoulder blades along the spine and the back body. And breathe. So much pressing into the earth, evenly into the palms, that you could almost lift the hips away from the earth. Inner legs zip together, point through the toes, or flex through the feet. One more breath. And shifting off the palms, bend the knees, feet can plant wide, just a little bit of movement. Think about just massaging into the glutes. Massaging into those hips, strong buttock muscles. I'm just going to call them glutes. And then start to create bigger sweeping movements of the legs. Knees in one direction, maybe spinning the chest and the shoulder in the opposite direction, the gaze in the opposite direction, breathing. So lots of opening in the shoulders here, in the spine, and the ribs. Arriving, coming back through center. And as you rebend your knees and recross the legs, see if you can bring the opposite leg in front. And again, we're just going to kind of circle here. So with the opposite leg in front, it feels a little funky, that unfamiliar cross of the legs. Make sure the knees feel happy with this. If the hips are tight, oftentimes the tension can transfer into the knee joints. So make sure they feel happy. If you're at home practicing, you probably are. You can use pillows under the knees. You can use blocks to support yourself. And then circling in the opposite direction. So hopefully you're feeling that in the opposite hip of whatever leg is in front. And then we're going to bow forward. So fingertips or palms down, bow the head. And again, maybe sway the head. You'll find where you have tension that needs to be released as we continue to move and explore the body. You can sway the torso a bit and breathe. Everything should just feel good, the body should feel safe, safe to open, safe to explore. Staying bowed forward, relaxing forward, just one more deep breath here. Pressing palms into the earth, walk the hands back using arm strength, core strength. Roll through the shoulders, up, back, and down. And then extend through the legs. Point through the toes, pressing into the earth, arching the spine, lifting the gaze, and breathe. And rock the head back as long as the neck feels safe here. Spread collarbones. One more breath. Let it fill you, let it open you. Gazing forward, you can keep the hands where they're at, but then bend the knees, plant the feet. Start to windshield wiper the legs deeply from side to side. And then over to the right side. So you can land in more of a deer pose, but it can also feel good to tuck that left shin underneath you, keeping hold of the left shin. And that tractions the shoulder away from the ear as you bow the head in the opposite direction of the shoulder. From here, you can start to explore the neck even more by creating movement of the head, rocking it back and forth. Soften through the face, soften through the jaw, just that movement of the head, back and forth. Really no rules here, it's all, again, your body, your exploration of your body. You can turn the gaze, the chin down towards the collarbone. Maybe stay here, or you can start to create little circles with the nose. Maybe growing those circles bigger over time. Circling in the opposite direction. Breathing. Stay connected to physical sensation, stay connected to the breath. Finding a sweet spot, finding stillness here. Just offer yourself what you need. 3 deep breaths. And then aligning the neck with the rest of the spine. Right hand alongside the hip, leaning to that side so you can extend that left leg out. Just free up that leg. And take a moment here to flex and point through that foot. So that might have been a lot of compression for the knee, a lot of trapping of energy in the extremity. So just kind of free that up through movement. You can roll at the ankle a little. Anything that feels good. Spread the toes. And then from here, I'm just going to frame that leg. I like to point my toes, but you can flex the foot. Think about the kneecap lifting. In fact, you can watch it lift as you engage the quadricep. Engage the core, tent the fingers alongside the leg. Further down, it's a lot more challenging to lift that leg. If you want that level of challenge, midway can be accessible. Too close, you'll start to rock back. So find where you can just lift it with some challenge for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then spin around, the right hand down alongside the hip as you sweep that left arm up, arch the back, and pointing the left toes, reaching along through the left arm. Engage the glutes, press the hips forward. So we're just stretching out all of this part of the body that we engaged. If there's a bit of cramping, you know it's working. Now we can stretch that out. One more inhalation. And then as you exhale, sink the hips down. Be long in the spine. Sweep the arms over to that outstretched leg. You can crisscross the arms, so the right hand to the pinky toe edge, the left hand to the big toe edge. Reach the heart forward, still engaging that quad as you lengthen the spine. And breathe. Draw the low belly in and up. So we're really lifting the spine out of the hips with that beautiful length. You can even reach for the foot. You can soften through the knee. You can always have something underneath it if you need to. Make sure it's not too much for the knee or through the hamstring. Close the eyes if that feels safe for you. Take 3 more breaths. And then stay low to the ground. Start to walk your hands, your heart, your torso towards your bent knee. Activate the left leg. And then press the right hand into the earth, the left hand to the thigh to lengthen the spine as you inhale. And then press into the thigh, rotate the spine, gazing over that right shoulder as you exhale. Breathe here, just a little bit of a twist. And one more breath. So keeping the torso towards this right thigh, plant the palms, spin the left toes around, keep that leg active as you extend through both legs long, pressing back into a down dog. Feel free to pedal out 3 feet here, bending one knee, bend the other, actively pressing the mat away, head is heavy. Just a few breaths exploring this. Maybe wagging the hips a little from side to side. Finding stillness, one more breath. And then slowly with control, release your knees down to the earth. You can cross at the ankles, press the mat away, rolling over the shins. Coming back through seated, planting the feet. I'm going to spin back around, start to windshield wiper the knees from side to side. Done this a few times, so maybe feeling a lot more free in those hip rotators. Release the knees over to the left. You can take hold of that right shin, tuck it in, keeping that hold. Again, that helps to traction. You can draw that shoulder down with that hold as you think about tipping the weight of the body to the left, including the head. Without tension here, you can start to explore movement of the head, forward and back. Breathe. Notice if one side feels different from the other. And just make any adjustments, really truly letting the body guide that inner body intelligence, that wisdom we all possess. Tapping into that. Soften around the face, around the jaw. You can change the head position, gazing down, chin to the collarbone. Maybe stay here. Breathe here. Again, those movements, circular movements, like you're tracing a circle with the nose. You can start to circle in the opposite direction. Pace is all up to you, but we often speed through life, so permission to slow down, really feel. Maybe pausing in stillness and quiet, 3 deep breaths. Finding that sweet spot. Aligning the neck with the rest of the spine. Left hand pressing into the earth just to support you as you extend that right leg out. The sole of the left foot into the inner thigh. And again, you can flex and point through that right foot, just freeing up any energy. Roll the ankle. Waking that up, bringing sensation, bringing life to that extremity after it's been compressed a little bit. So again, might be very different on this side. So you can explore fingertips down towards the ankle, maybe by the knee, maybe closer to the thigh. Try to lift that leg for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Spin it around, left palm down. Sweep the right arm up, arching the spine, reaching tall through the spine. And also pressing the hips forward, back body strength, opening up the front of the body, arching the spine, breathing. One more inhalation here. And as you exhale, sinking the hips down, and sweep the arms forward, and crisscross with the arms once again. And it can be up towards the thigh, reaching forward. It can be down towards the shin, maybe the ankle. And give yourself time to ease into these shapes. At the same time, I'm actively rooting that left thigh down. As I reach my heart forward, core is very active. Try not to strain the neck. So often if you're here looking up, that is a lot of that cervical spine compression. So think about a neutral neck as you perhaps gaze down a little bit more. Just reach the heart forward. You can engage that quadriceps still, engage the core. Reach, reach, reach. Letting go of expectations, but also breaking new ground. Moving towards discomfort. Never pain, never sharpness, but making real change in the body. And close the eyes. 3 deep breaths here. Stay low to the ground, hands to the inner edge of that outstretched leg. You start to walk hands, heart, torso towards the bent knee. Spin around into a twist, left hand to the earth, right hand to the thigh. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, twisting. So the right leg stays active, the center of the heel grounds like an anchor, gazing over the left shoulder. One more breath. So we're going to keep the twist, kind of, sort of, planting the palms just beyond that left thigh. That right leg is strong. Spin the toes around, engage through that leg, and extend both legs back up to your down dog. From here, you can bring the inner big toes to touch. Lift the heels up and over to the right corner of the mat. Grounding the left heel, bend the right knee, and it's almost like you can reach long through that left side. You can keep the hand grounded, but you're actively reaching that left hip away, left arm away. Breathe. One more breath. Then round the palms strongly, lift the heels back through center, and then over to the other side. So you're bending the left knee, grounding the right heel, reaching long through that right arm. Really strong in the left arm. Draw the right hip back in space. One more breath. Arriving mindfully, slowly back through center, and then release your knees down to the earth. Inner big toes touch, flatten out on the tops of the feet, round in the spine, press the hips back into a child's pose. And soften here. Breathe here. One more breath. Starting to press the palms under the shoulders. You can roll up to seated on your shins. And then from here, interlace the fingers, press the forearms together. Start to roll through the wrist joints. And as you press the forearms together, you're building heat in the shoulders. You should be able to start feeling that. So watching which way you're moving the wrist joints and then start to move them in the opposite direction. Still pressing the forearms together. I'm starting to feel that slow burn at the shoulders as I warm them up. And then releasing that. From here, still staying seated. If that doesn't feel good, you can come to standing on shins. And we're just going to make like a little bird, right? I'm going to interlace just at the thumbs, biceps by the ears. Draw the ribs in towards the spine and pulse the arms back for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relaxing the arms, coming up to a tabletop position. We're going to come into a puppy pose. So that can be a lot for people's shoulders. I like to take hold of the mat and kind of grab the mat. Walking the knees back, think about pressing that mat away as you sink the chest forward. You can have the forehead to the earth or you can have your chin to the earth. Just breathe. Doesn't have to be deep breaths, maybe they're more shallow. Reach the chest towards the earth. Reach the armpits towards the earth. Keep pressing the mat away with the hands. One more breath. And tone through the core. Coming forward. Coming onto forearms. And for a moment here, just wiggle out through the hips a little bit. As you prop yourself up on the forearms. From here, you can sway the torso a little bit from side to side. Coming back through center, we're just going to do a little bit of core work here. Those Sphinx roll-ups. They're going to move with the breath. So inhale, lengthen. And then exhale, peel the belly, the thighs, away from the earth. Round the spine, bring the gaze back towards the low belly or the thighs. Inhale, releasing slowly back down. Open the heart, lengthen the spine. So every action is controlled. Exhale, curling, rounding. Draw the low belly towards the spine. And then inhale, releasing. Definitely building some heat here. Keep the awareness through the legs. Legs are nice and long. Exhale, round, bow, press the forearms. Draw the low belly in and out. Inhale, releasing back down. And one last time. Slowly, with control, come on down to the ground. Bring the arms out to goalpost arms, cactus arms. I'm working with this a lot myself because I have really tight shoulders and I'm tight in my chest. So what's going to happen, keeping the arms like so. You're going to press that left hand into the earth. Start to create some space. So I'm walking that right arm out a little, thinking about bending that left knee as if that foot could touch my right hand. Maybe someday, right? Keep breathing. If it's too much, you can just stack the legs. You can even just come more into a little bit of a roll. Maybe you're just pressing that left hand into the earth. Breathe. Press the right forearm and the right palm into the earth. So an engaged stretch. Keep actively reaching that left foot back, so it's glute and hamstring engagement. Just one more breath. And start to roll back onto the belly. We can bring that left arm out,
Spinning over to that left side, and again, bending through the right knee as if you could touch that right foot back to the left hand. Start to actively press that left palm, left forearm into the earth, still reaching through the right leg back. One more breath. And slowly coming back onto the belly. Propping yourself up into your Sphinx. Again, you can wiggle out the hips a little bit. Just releasing any tension. And then active through the legs, pointing through the toes. Engage the butt so the glutes are working. See how much lift you can maintain, so it's back, body, core. As you release the arms away from the earth, press the palms under the shoulders like a cobra and inhale a bit more lift. You can start to peel the thighs away from the earth, just coming into an up dog. Breathing for 3. Maybe lifting the gaze for 2. Squeeze the shoulder blades, squeeze the glutes for 1. Keep all that engagement. Press the mat away, curl the toes under, pressing hips up and back into down dog. Sway the head a little from side to side, release any tension in the neck. Maybe cleansing breath in through the nose and then out through the mouth. Shortening up your down dog, feet can go hip distance or wider, grounding the left palm, and reach that right arm, maybe to the left shin, never the knee, maybe the ankle, and then just twisting. You can gaze under that left arm towards the sky. No tension in the neck. Just a nice twist. One more breath. Start to release that right palm down, twisting over to the right. Again, find where it feels like a comfortable hold. If it's not, shorten your stance. So finding that hold, finding that spiral on the spine. Pressing the mat away, knees can be soft. Breathing. Twisting. One more breath. Releasing that left palm, start to engage the core, maybe bend the knees, walk the hands back. Just a forward fold. Feet can go wide. Arms can simply dangle. Head can be heavy. You can sway the head, you can sway the torso. You can hold on to either elbow. You can be still here. Or you can think about energetically engaging the core at the same time you're lifting the tailbone skyward. You're pulsing forearms to the earth. No tension in the neck. Pulsing for 3, 2, last one. Bend the knees, palms come to the thighs, creating that shelf. So nice deep bend in the knees. Start to press the palms into the thighs. Start to roll up. You can start to lengthen through the legs, lengthen through the spine. Roll through shoulders, up, back, and down once you arrive. Back through standing. Breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. And then finding your strap. We're going to use that to open up through the chest a little bit more. Nice heart opening. So to start with the strap, mountain pose, arms back behind you, and give yourself a little space between the hands. Thinking about lengthening through the elbows, punch the knuckles down, and without arching the spine, to keep that mountain pose energy, lengthen and open through the chest. So it's all about shoulders here. The body just stays the same. We can start to inhale, float the arms back away from the body. Exhale, releasing back down. If you need to widen your hold on the strap, great. Inhale, Floating, opening, breathing, engaging, squeezing the back body. Exhale. Soften. Keep those elbows extended. A couple more times like that. So my shoulder is super tight. You can see that. A lot of people have a lot greater mobility than I do, but that's my own journey. So you have your own journey, your own exploration. Let's do this one more time. Drop the belly in and up. Keep that engagement. And relax the arms. You can just roll through shoulders, sway the head a little from side to side, releasing any tension in the jaw. Just work it out. Strap is going to be out in front. Hands at shoulder width. Inhale, flip the strap up. Exhale, bring the strap back behind you. And notice I've had to widen my hold on this strap. Inhale, floating strap up. Exhale, back and front. And again, maybe coming back to that original starting position. Inhale, opening, lifting, breathing. Exhale, slowly back behind you. Inhale, lengthen through the spine, reach the arms up, lengthen through the elbows. Exhale, strap in front. Let's do this one last time. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, breathing fully. Exhale, strap in front. Rolling through shoulders, sway the head. And then just set that strap off to the side for a moment. We'll use that again a little bit later. So mountain pose at the top of the mat. Really establishing that. You can spread the toes, you can rock a little back and forth, lifting the heels, bending the knees, and then lifting the toes. So a couple more times, just really rooting down through the feet. The foundation of the pose is whatever's making contact with the earth. So feel that engagement, that support. Grow the spine tall. Hands to the hips. The left foot's going to stay. We're going to come into a warrior one as you step that right foot back. That moment of transition is also a moment of balance. The hips squaring forward. So making sure the knees feel happy. Tone through that right buttock muscle, round the right heel, lengthen the right leg. Keep that as you just sink the hips low by bending the front knee. Finishing an exhalation and then press into the left foot, lengthen, inhale. Exhale, sink low, bend, and really engage that right butt, lengthen through that right leg. Inhale, press the foot into the earth. Exhale, sink low. Maybe lower. Inhale, rise. Exhale, sink. From here, think about growing the energy up the spine. Float the arms up, lift the gaze up. Biceps by the ears. You breathe. One more deep breath. And then hands to the hips. You can shift the weight of the torso forward, free the back, heels, step forward. Mountain pose, arms down alongside. Hands to the hips. The right foot's going to ground and step that left foot back in space. Balance, right? So again, hips are squaring forward and rounding the back heel. There's space between the feet. Actively engage that left buttock muscle, lengthen that left leg, and then just sink the hips by bending the front knee. Finish an exhalation. Inhale, pressing into the earth, find length. Exhale, rebend, sink low. Inhale, press. Exhale, bend. Just notice what's happening in the body. Each time you kind of ease into this, when you go a little deeper into the pose. And the next time you bend, stay. So that's the foundation to support this beautiful uplifted energy in the spine and the arms, the gaze. Notice your breath here. should have freedom to breathe without tension. One more breath. And then hands to the hips. You can shift the torso forward, free the back heel. Step forward as you're ready, mountain pose, arms down alongside. So now we're just going to combine those last two poses that we did. You can grab your strap. We're going to come into a humble warrior. So if you can reach your arms back behind you and straighten the elbows and float the arms away from the back body, keeping the elbows straight, you might not need a strap, but if you've got really tight shoulders, tight chest like I do, it's just nice to have this. And that way I'm working smarter, not necessarily harder. So the foundation is just going to be the same. You bring hands to the hips, the way we get into it is the same. And the right foot steps back. Legs are straight and strong to start. You can find the strap behind you, punch the knuckles to the ground, arch the spine slightly, inhale, and then exhale, bow forward. Keep the back body engaged, bend deeply through that front knee, the thigh to the outer edge, the body to the inner edge, and float the arms away from the back body, punch the knuckles skyward, neck is neutral, so you're thinking about lengthening the spine, strong in the legs, finishing an exhalation. And then inhale, rising. Release the strap, free the heel. When you feel balanced, step forward, and just check in just for a moment. See how this made you feel, this humble warrior. And do the other side, hands to the hips. And right foot grounds, left foot steps. Arms back behind, open the heart. Inhale, maybe lift the gaze. Exhale, the whole time you're reaching the heart forward. You're lengthening the spine, bending deeply into that right knee, the torso to the inner edge of the thigh. Again, you can punch the knuckles skyward, engaging the back body. Breathe. Exhale. Inhale, rising with strength, with control. Release the strap, hands to the hips, free the back heel, stepping forward. Relax the arms, check in. Humble warrior. See what it taught us in a moment of pause and breath, self-exploration. And then you get to do it again. So hands to the hips, left foot grounds, right foot steps, open the heart, inhale. Exhale, bowing forward. Maybe a longer stance, maybe greater ease and opening in the spine, maybe bowing even forward as if you could touch the forehead, humble yourself to the earth even more. Exhale, finishing that exhalation. Use the inhalation to rise. Release the strap or the hands, step forward. Relaxing a moment, checking in. And doing the other side. Right foot stays, left foot steps. Inhale, preparing, exhale, bowing. Where can you feel expanded in this pose? Controlled, awareness flowing throughout. Breathing. Maybe your ujjayi breath. As you finish an exhalation, ground even more, and then inhale to rise. Take your time. As you step forward, strap to the side, arms alongside. Breathing in through the nose and then just releasing out through the mouth. So we'll flow through our sun salutation A, Surya Namaskar A, finishing an exhalation. Inhale to sweep the arms up, find length. Keep all that length as you exhale, swan back down. Lead with the heart. Deep inhalation lifts you halfway. Bend the knees, plant the palms, mindful which foot you step back with first. Mix it up each time. So from your plank, you can lower the right shin to the earth, spinning into a side plank. You can also keep that leg extended in that side plank. Open the chest. Again, feeling that core energy just radiating out. One more inhalation. Exhale through plank. And then shifting over to the left. Again, maybe the legs stay straight and strong. Maybe you need to release that shin to the earth. It's up to you and your body. Core is active. One more inhalation. And then exhale to plank. So our knees to the earth. So shift the body weight forward. Draw the low belly in and up. Slightly round the spine. Exhale on your way down. Take your time. No sway in the low back. Elbows hug in towards the midline of the body. And then inhale. Find that cobra. Lifting up. Lengthening. A couple breaths here. Strengthening back body core. One more inhalation. And then either from knees or pressing up through plank to down dog. Just a couple breaths here. And inhale your gaze to your fingers. Exhale and walk, hop, step feet towards hands. Right into monkey as you inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale to fold. Inhale to rise. Palms touch, the gaze lifts. Exhale, hands to your heart. Inhale, lengthen. Sweeping arms. Exhale, folding, swan diving. Inhale to lift up halfway. Hands can always come to shins or thighs. Really keep that nice tall spine. The next exhalation, bend the knees, plant the palms, step the opposite foot back first. We're in plank. So from here, see if you can just lift that right leg away from the earth. Set it back down. Lift the left leg away. Set it back down. Right arm, right leg, left arm, bicep by the ear. Set it back down. Left leg, right arm, bicep by the ear. Back down. Inhale, preparing, maybe knees to the earth. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, cobra. And we're just building that back body core. As you exhale, curl the toes, maybe from the knees, or maybe you just press up through plank into down dog. 3 deep breaths here. Reset. Gaze to the fingers. Inhale, preparing. And then exhale. You can lightly walk, hop, step feet. Inhale right into monkey arriving. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. Palms touch, arch the spine. Exhale, hands to the heart. Just a moment to check in. Feel your breath, resettle. Thumbs to the sternum, you can feel your heartbeat. Feel the heat you generated from your practice. Then stepping the long way on your mat. Feet are going to go out wide. Toes are going to angle out, heels angle in. Kind of my nemesis pose. I've got some hip impingement. Been working on that, working on those hip rotators, really strengthening this, supporting this. But it still is a challenge because I don't ever get to the point of stretching before I get to the point of pain. And so this can be a challenge for a lot of people. So the idea is that we're engaging the butt, glutes are pressing forward, and as you bend your knees, drive the knees out. Press feet into the earth, inhale, rise. Exhale, bend, drive the knees out. Press the tailbone forward, tuck the tailbone, inhale. Exhale, sinking low. Engage the glutes, slide the hands down. We're gonna twist a little. So the right hand presses into that right thigh. So you rotate over to the left, gazing over the left. And just breathe. Keep tucking the tailbone, keep engaging glutes, keep driving the knees energetically away from one another. And then inhale, just back through center, keeping that low stance. And then exhale over to the other side. So you're pressing that left palm into the inner left thigh. Gazing over that right shoulder. Tuck the tailbone, engage the glutes. Back through center. Keep the hips low. Maybe lifting the left heel, the right heel, both heels. Keeping hips low. Release the heels. Release the palms. Spin the heels out. The toes are in. Lengthen the legs. Just a nice wide-legged forward fold. Fingers can walk back in alignment with the toes. Keep the spine tall. That includes the neck. Maybe softness in knees if you need. Feel the weight of the head. Maybe gently shake the head no. Nod the head yes. One more breath. Back through center. Or I'm sorry, walk your hands out so that your spine is more parallel to the earth. From here, we're just going to twist over to the right. So walk hands, heart, torso to the right. The right hand to the inner edge of the foot or tent the fingers as you walk that left arm beyond the foot. You can start to bend that left knee, still reaching that left arm away from you. Neck is neutral. One more breath. Back through your center, pausing for a breath, head heavy. And then over to that left side, left hand to the inner edge of the foot, tented fingers or palm to the ground, right arm reaching beyond the foot. Neutral neck. Breathe here, maybe start to bend that right knee. At the same time, reach the right arm away from you. And then breathe into that right side body. One more breath. Releasing back through center. Notice what's open for you. 3 more breaths here in this inversion. Pressing palms into the earth. You've got options. You can come to tabletop and make your way onto the ground. Or you can spin the hands around, fingers facing the wall behind you, starting to slightly bend the knees. Keep walking the hands back, bend the elbows, creating like a shelf for the body as you extend and shoot the heels away from you. It's a little bit of an arm balance as you make your way onto your butt. So however you arrive there without crashing down, you're all seated. Just a nice wide-legged opening. And then from here, just a little bit of a shift, a sway from side to side. Open through the side bodies. And then over to that right side, the right side body over that right thigh. The right forearm pressing into the inner thigh to rotate the chest. Left hand to the left hip. Think about heavying that left hip down. You can keep this, or to add more weight and therefore more stretch, you can reach that left arm up and over. Bicep is by the ear. Heavy the left hip, but reaching long through the spine out of that heavy hip. That left leg active. And breathe. I'm keeping that pressure of that right forearm into that inner right thigh. One more breath. And this time just heavy the heart towards the earth. Start to sweep that left arm long through the spine. Left forearm pressing into the inner thigh. The right leg is active, the right hip is heavy. And as I press into that inner left thigh, I'm rotating my chest. Stack the shoulders, open the collarbones, open the heart. Your choice to stay, or again, you can reach that right arm up and over, bicep over the ear, extending long through that right side body as I try to heavy the right hip down, breathing, still spinning open, trying to create that expansion on the left side as well as the right. One more breath. Spinning the heart towards the earth. Fingertips or palms or forearms or belly to the earth. One more breath. Walking the hands in, using arm strength, using core strength, rising through seated, hands to the outer edges of the knees. Bend the knees, plant the feet, back to that windshield wiper of the knees, a little from side to side. And then making sure you've got plenty of room back behind you on your mat. Hands to the backs of the thighs with knees bent, tall spine, rock back. Stay here, this is core. Or float the shins and squeeze the inner thighs together. Stay here, this is core. Arms parallel to the earth. You can stay here or lift the toes skyward, lift the arms skyward for 3, 2, keep breathing. Keep reaching, one more inhalation, and then exhale. Keep breathing on the way down. Slow, with control, all the way down. Full body stretch once you arrive. Breathe in through the nose and then out through the mouth. So you float the arms down, bend the knees, plant the feet, tuck the tailbone towards the heels. Inhale, lifting hips up. Creating lots of space in the front of the body. Strongly press the feet into the earth. Strongly engage the glutes and the hamstrings. A bit more lift, a bit more length. One more inhalation here. Exhale, tuck the tailbone, ride the breath down. Scoop the spine, scoop the belly. Settling hips to the earth and then lifting the hips up and over to the left. Settle them back down. And then the left knee on top of the right, maybe a double bind at the ankle. Arms into goalpost arms, cactus arms, inhale. And then exhale, the knees to the right, the gaze to the left, heavy the left shoulder. Close the eyes or soften the gaze. Soften to the earth. Steady your breath. One more breath. Keep the bind or release the bind as you float the knees back through center. Release the bind finally, align the hips with the spine and then up and over to the right. Right knee on top of the left, squeeze the legs together, inhaling. And then exhale, knees to the left, gaze to the right, really heavy that right shoulder. Breathe. Find softness, find that conscious act of letting go here. Find what you need on this side, it might be very different from the other. Exploring with your breath. One more breath. Again, you can release the bind or with both knees still together, float back onto the back. Hugging knees into the chest. You can finish this way. Maybe a little rock from side to side if that feels good, or a plow pose, or you can come into a happy baby, feet skyward with a deep bend in the knees. Just finding what you need to finish your practice. One more breath. Starting to release. Legs long, feet wide. Arms alongside the body. You can tuck the shoulders down away from ears. If you're at home and you've got a cushion, you can place it under the knees. I think it's beautiful for the low back. You can rock the head a little from side to side. Maybe you have an eye pillow blocking the light. Just melting into the earth. There's nothing more to do. Just closing the eyes and resting. Begin to notice your breath. Awareness returning to the body, to the space. Creating slow, soft movements in the body. Fingers, toes, wrists, ankles. Open and close the mouth as you stretch arms overhead into a yawn. Deep breath. Cleansing breath. Breathing in through the nose. Open the mouth. Final release. Letting go. Letting one knee, then the other, letting feet to earth. Staying mindful in your movements. You can start to roll gently to either side. Use your arm like a pillow for the head. Belly soft. Knees bent. Keeping eyes closed or soft gaze. Use the strength of the arms. And press up to seated. The rounded spine and the heavy head. Just a comfortable cross-legged seated position. Rooting down through sit bones. Grow the spine tall. Open the heart. Bringing hands to the heart. A moment to acknowledge this practice and yourself with a grateful heart. Namaste. Thank you all for joining me. I hope you got what you needed out of your practice. Continue to practice. And I will see you here next week. Have a wonderful day. Thank you.